struck the COVID-19 task force. The government again issued additional regulations that tighten community travel before and after the period of prohibiting going home. Using the requirement for extra traveling within the country from April 22 to May 5. A similar rule was applied after the period of banning going home on May 18 to 24. From that date, a negative coronavirus sign letter applies to travelers, either PCR or antigen. A maximum of 1 by 24 hours before departure.
Based on the COVID-19 task force circular letter number 13 of 2020, it noted that considering the 6 to 17 month probation period is only allowed of several categories, such as logistic distribution, service, and other such as official travel, fixed or visitation, and service. Pregnant women with a maximum company of one person, and maternity helpers with a maximum company of one person.
However, it should be noted that before traveling for exempted parties, there are several requirements that must be fulfilled, namely a permit from the head of the work agency, where specifically for ASN invoice, BUMN, UMD invoice, and members of Indonesian Army or Police are given from Excellent Level 2. Officials with wet signature or electronic copies. For informal sector workers, it is necessary to request a travel permit from the village in accordance with their respective domiciles.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Transportation has set all strategies to prohibit going home. Stemming from last year's experience, the Ministry of Transportation will take firm action against drug traffickers who are determined to bring travel.
Of course, the government decision has many pros and cons for various layers of Indonesia's society. Well, we have connected with Godlife, who have been with our search today.
Yes, thanks to Karin and Agnes at studio. Today I am with Hajar Ayni. He is the General Chairman of the Vespa Society Community Team, who disagrees with the policy of forbidding homecoming for it 2021. How do you respond to the ban on it homecoming this year, Hajar Ayni?
Okay, if we don't really agree, because it is the right of each individual for all reasons, it is prohibited. There are still those who violate this regulation.
Are there any other reason why you disagree so much? with the prohibition of going home?
Even there are vaccines, Genus testing, rapid antigens, and strict health protocol. Homecoming is still prohibited, but strictly tourist is not even prohibited.
What about the members of your community? Do, do they obey the regulation on the prohibition of going home?
I have also appealed to members of my community to be wise in responding to the rules of the government. It remains only for each individual who should be able to understand and be willing to carry out this appeal. But the name is a holiday tradition. Surely they want to go back to their hometown together. It cannot be denied that family and siblings are definitely waiting for their family to come home to meet them and stay in touch with them.
Is there a message that you would like to convey to the government that has made the regulation on the prohibition of going home?
Okay, don't let it be just before the implementation of May. You suddenly notice that you are allowed to travel by official letter. The government is waiting for the closure of public transportation at that time. If it's just an apple, but public transportation give a discount, it's the same. Thank you.
Yes, thanks Hajar Ayni. We back to studio.
Thanks, Agnes Mutiara.
Now, that's true. Many tours are still open. And also returning to this village has indeed become a tradition of the Indonesian people during festive.
Yeah, maybe people immediately turn to our next year. Has the ability doctor connect with us?
Okay, and now we are with Miss Ainul, namely the West Java Provincial Transportation Service. How about the discussion of Jabar Provincial Transportation Service regarding central government policies? What are the expectations for the policies that have been implemented? And what if there are travelers who are reckless?
Hopefully, what we have done can suppress or break the chain of spreading this coronavirus. If a reckless homecoming is found, the field office will take a firm stand by, directing him to make a U-turn or return to his hometown and be educated not to go home.
And how permissible for people to go home for certain purpose?
This prohibition on going home to the whole community, but some are allowed to go home, namely by having to purchase a homecoming permit, namely for people who have certain needs. For example, their family is seriously ill and are dead. In the situation, the person must meet requirements such as KTP, referral letter for hospital, letter of death, certificate of rapid test and swab test from the head office state, stating that the person is negative COVID-19.
Okay, thanks to Miss Ainul Hakim, and we back to studio with Karin and Agnes.
Things are the people celebration of Willingham for the community expected to have important aspects. The development is legislated so that the colonizing population in Indonesia displaces.
Even though vaccinations are continuing, the COVID pandemic is not over, nor does a negative COVID test result mean that we are completely free from the virus. There is still a positive possibility during the incubation period, not to mention that not all regions have good health facilities. If residents are still desperate to go home, it is the same as indirectly killing their family in the village.
They have been from fewer systems or actually the existing health protocols. We are from level 1 despite the research. Good afternoon.
Thank you for watching Breaking News. Goodbye.